Get a doll of me and dress me up and no, we good.
Or like you said, it's the intent behind it though. Like if I'm saying I'm thinking well wishes to you, or I'm thinking high of you, or like I like how people say they don't say good morning, they say
Grand rising.
I like that. Like that's empowering you even with.
I like that too, and I always loved it, but it started to irritate me. It started to irritate me because people who don't even feel the grand rising is using it so loosely.
They use
You
it
understand what I'm
loosely.
saying? And I'm just so tired of the fake phony people with all their crystals. They don't know nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? And you just, oh, a grand rising or queen or this and that, but you don't treat queens like queens. You know what I'm saying? But you can speak that, you can just say that, and you just automatically a part of, you know, that what's going on. But I just don't agree with that.
It's like it's like they want to invoke the community of spirituality, but not be in the community.
Yeah, you
of
don't really want to
spirituality.
do the work or the inner work that it takes to even get there. You just want to say that's what you're doing.
Why you say what?
But
What even is spirituality?
Everything.
One that y'all talking about.
Everything.
Because a lot of that stuff don't make actually no sense. The crystals and the spirits and all of this, and it makes no sense to me whatsoever. I've never been able to understand
Get into that.
And I have I've dated women who were extremely into that and did voodoo and all types of stuff on me. Put me in the freezer. They had made dolls about me and all types of stuff, stuck pins in it. I'm looking great today, so I don't think that matters. I don't know. I don't
But
think
that's what I'm saying, though,
it's
is-
like actually real.
But
so
I feel like,
can't-
but that's what you were missing at the beginning. And what she was saying is, it's like you're one of those. And I mean, if I'm wrong, you tell me. But like, you know how when you pray for something, it happens, right? Some people call it prayer. Some people call it manifest, right? It's whatever words fits your understanding of it. But for me, I believe, and I feel like I've manifest a lot of things too. Like I feel like there are times where I'm having a predicament where I'm trying to figure this out, and I say, God, please put it out there for me this happen. But I also say, I'm gonna do this. It's gonna work this way. So I've done both.
I think that's the difference between prayer and manifestation.
Okay.
It's like when you pray, you're asking for whatever it is that you need. When you manifest, it's the words that you speak out your mouth to really bring
Encourage
those
this,
things
yes.
into play.
Okay.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah, yeah.
saying?
And I agree with that. But it's just, to me, people have an issue with sometimes accepting that is a possibility. Because I believe just like the same people will say, I'm going to have a shitty day today.
Yeah.
They're going to have a shitty day.
Absolutely.
Because you know what? They said that.
Right.
But it's going to be different when you wake up and you could have a shit. Because I always say, like, when the day you see me, if I have on makeup and I'm dressed nice, I'm probably having a really shitty day, but you won't know. Because I woke up that day and I said, I'm going to have a great day. I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to look nice today. I'm gonna make my day good even if I woke up bad. And somehow it changes throughout the day. But I feel like if you wake up or something's going bad in your day, you're just like, oh, fuck the whole day. It's just gonna be done. You're gonna feel
And I'm just gonna dwell in that.
Yeah.
It's all about mindset, right? And where you want to keep that frame of mind at. So you have the ability and the power to change your day. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Your mindset cannot change reality or what the future, whatever's
see,
gonna
that's-
happen. Just your mindset.
But that's,
So, like, if your
that's a
mind-
very pessimistic mindset
Well, no, I'm
already
saying,
to
I'm just
start
saying,
with,
like, in
right?
your mind, you could say, I'm gonna have a great day. I always want to have a great day. I'm never ever waking up saying, oh, I'm gonna have a bad day
Right.
or wanting to have a bad day. But sometimes bad days just happen no matter what you think about.
Bad things happen.
Bad things, whatever.
Right.
It's nothing you can do no matter how positive you're thinking about stuff. I've been in those positive situations.
Yeah.
It's still bad stuff.
But how do you
So it's
react
like-
to it? When something bad is going to happen because you have no control over it, it's about how you respond in that moment.
Yeah, no, I know about that. But I'm talking about you saying like it's as simple as me saying I'm gonna have a good day. I'm gonna have a good day. It's not that simple because you don't know what's gonna happen that day.
No.
But also,
So
like,
you can say
sometimes
that.
I could be not feeling so good. You know what I'm saying? I could wake up on the wrong side of the bed. But like you said, you know, you get dressed and stuff like that. When I feel like that, sometimes I get dressed and I look good so I can feel good sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So I'll start with the outer work and then get to the inner work. But I also don't dwell on just the negative parts. So like if I am having a shitty ass day, I wrecked my car or something went wrong, yes, I can be upset about it, but what's done is done. And then you could also like change your mind and be like, okay, well, whatever is done, and you could dwell on the good things and the positive things that has happened around you, or just be grateful just for life itself, and know that and understand that maybe tomorrow is going to be better, and this is not the last day of this, or I still have time, you know what I'm saying? And I could just still be happy in it, even though all of this bullshit is going on. I could still be happy because that's what I chose. If I wake up and I say I'm going to have a good day, it's intentional. I'm purposely going to have a good day. Nobody's going to be able to fuck that up because I'm having a good day. Because I said it, and I'm going to make sure that it happens.
Right.
You know, you're going to move your actions. It's going to say, this is what I'm doing today.
Right.
I'm going to have a good day, and I'm not going to let this bother me, and I'm not going to let this bother me. And I'm not saying that's going to be easy, because it's tough sometimes.
It is.
But inner work is tough, you know? So, and it's okay. It just, sometimes, some things take more work. Some things take time. Some things, you know, it just don't happen overnight.
Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight. And so, like, when bad things do happen, it's out of your control, and it makes you upset or angry, or it affects your day, right? You have to also understand that things that happen to me, let's have a different mindset. Things that happen to me for a reason. It happens for my good. So, okay, yeah, I didn't get to that appointment on time, or I wrecked my car and now it's messed up. But maybe there was an accident 5 miles down the road that it prevented me from going to, you know what I'm saying, getting involved in. Like, everything that does happen to me that's bad is for my good. So when I look at things that happen to me that's not so good, I'm okay, God, it was a reason for that. You know what I mean? Then I sit back and then things appear or they reveal themselves later on, and not necessarily at that point in time, so you may not understand it, but always have that mindset and thinking, okay, if this didn't work out for me, it's because something better is lined up for me. You know what I'm saying? So,
because I try to think about that a lot. I think, and somebody said it to me, because I always get frustrated when I'm driving to work. I'm like, why am I sitting here? Or why, you know, you know what I'm saying? But somehow there was an accident down the street. There was a 3-car pileup, and I missed that by 5 minutes. Because you think about that sometimes too. Like if I had slowed down, because people think about that. I had to do this class where I was watching these videos, and this lady was saying, why didn't I just wait and do this? Yeah. Why did I have to ask for this? Or why did I have to tell my dad to go back and get my hair tied? Or why did, you know what I'm saying? Because that one moment, that one instant, everything changes. But also, I think the other thing is, everything does happen for a reason. But I feel like people think that the reason always has to be defined or understood in the moment that it's happening, or if it doesn't make sense.
And what people need to understand is God, because and God's timing. You understand what I'm saying? Things might not move for you when you want them to move, but God has that perfect timing. He's gonna move it when He's gonna move. Right. You understand what I'm saying? You can't rush God's timing. You know, all you can do is protect yourself, know what you got going on while it's going on, and you know what I'm saying, be in your shit and get out of it. Like, that's just the inner work we gotta do for ourselves. So how do you think
that, I like how you had said in the beginning, you said that it has to do with your own mindset and what you push out and what you put out, right? So how do you feel like that goes into the social media and like people's mental health? How does that, do you think that affects it? Like social media, what people see, or all the lavish things, or the perfect relationships? Or...
So people are seeing all of these conceptions that people put out there. So of course, like if I take a pretty picture or something and I take an ugly picture, of course I want to post a pretty picture because I don't want just the ugliness to be out there. You understand what I'm saying? So like people want people to see the good. But what I've seen working on social media too is people being very raw and being in their truth. And when you be in your truth, that brings good, that attracts good too, and that attracts people as well. So it's like kind of like this right now with that situation. You know, it's not, it don't lean on one side. I don't know, it could be good and bad.
Okay. What do you think about social media? Do you think it affects it?
I kind of like got lost in there a little bit, but
no, you know, brought it back.
Yeah.
I think social media affects what, like
the mental health, like people's mental health and how they view and what,
Yeah, I mean, because like I was talking about earlier, I can't scroll through my Instagram feed and find nobody I actually know. It's all celebrities and all these, like, it won't show anything that's not above like a couple thousand views on my feed. And that probably bothers a lot of people, that they, you know, it's making you see all this stuff that you can't do or can't see or can't like achieve or you know what I'm saying? And it bothers people's mind, because just looking at everything you can't
Actually achieve because it's not
can actually
realistic.
have. Or,
They
because it's
probably
not,
don't
no,
have
that's
it.
what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's because it's not realistic. A lot of stuff we see is not realistic, and so when it's thrown in your face like that, people don't know that it's not realistic. But people that aren't like for entertainment, people that aren't in the entertainment industry or aren't in the music industry, and they see these rappers and these artists that just living these lifestyles, they don't know that a lot of that shit's not real. They don't know a lot of this. They didn't pay for a lot of that stuff. They don't know this. And that messes with people's mind state and their mental. Because with me, before I could learn my knowledge of the music industry, there's a lot of things that I thought were factual that and it's not. A lot of that shit is fake. And that fucked me up for a second. I'm not gonna lie.
But how did you change it? What made you, understand it though eventually? Like what
I
changed
still
you?
don't understand it. I just understand a little bit more every day. I still don't. It's not really something that you can understand especially when it comes to the music industry. It's not one thing to understand.
Like when we're scrolling the internet, we can see a bunch of negative stuff, or you can see positive stuff,
Yeah.
or what you're thinking might stand out to what you're thinking on the inside probably stands out more to you when you see it come across your screen. But there is like a way that you can control the things you see. The people that you deal with, are they positive? Do they have positive mindsets? Are they always bringing up negativity? You know, the things you're looking at and visualizing and listening to. Like when you listen to the radio, what stations are you choosing? What type of music are you choosing to listen to? What type of people are you choosing to follow? Because you can get all of this negative stuff, but that depends on everybody that you follow and everything that you're listening to.
Yeah.
But if you're listening to only positive things and you're only following positive people, like something clicks in your mind and it's some type of science, you know what I'm saying, to where it brings out like the dopamine and the good things and the positive stuff, you know what I'm saying? So there are ways that we could change it, but first we gotta know better.
Yeah.
Because you can't do better if you don't know better.
That's true. And just real quick about the Instagram. So Instagram do have a feature, right, on your homepage that it automatically allows you to follow like all the celebrities. Well, you're not following necessarily the news feed, right? So if you go to your homepage and click on the Instagram, you see a little drop button.
Who will smile at me? Who will be all in my face? But then 2 seconds later, it's a different, and it's not, you said something, it's not what you did anything, but it had to have been something that they didn't gain or they.
Yeah, I see that a lot too. And some people are coming, when they come to you or they want to be around you, some people have motives and intentions. And sometimes people's intentions aren't always pure and genuine. It's up to us to know who's genuine around us. You know what I'm saying?
That's definitely true.
It's definitely up
It's
to
true.
us because people just come for what they want.
Yeah.
And they're going to take what they're going to take.
Whatever you allow them to take too, right?
Absolutely.
And so I think one lady is a prophet like years ago, she always told me, she said people gonna always try to cling to you because it's something inside of you that shows them that you're a good person or you'll help them or whatever. And I have to always kind of be mindful, and I think part of that I kind of like closed up more so because now I don't want no friends. You know what I mean? So I don't really talk to a lot of people, but when I do talk to people, like it's genuine. You know what I'm saying? And you want to be there for people just because I don't know. When you're a naturally good person, you just want to be a good person, and it's reciprocated in your friendships.
But you don't want to take.
You have to, but you have to also know you as a person and have limits and boundaries as a person. So even if you are one of those people who have like resources or you're a nice person and you just want to be a good friend and offer advice, you have to also know when you're being used. You have to also know, have discernment about people. You know what I'm saying? Like use that discernment. Like, pray, meditate, what you gotta do to gain a new perspective as far as like these people that I'm surrounding myself with, do they have my best interest at heart?
Exactly.
And I just here for this or for that.
But it's good to listen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But I told him that because like you said, you guys, you're good people. But I can see through, like, not saying that y'all can't, but I'm saying, like, I know it's stuff that I've talked to him about. I'm like, bruh, this dude here, he knows you'll do these things for him. You know what I'm saying? I've told him, like, this person here, they come to you and they ask you, because people can see who they can use from a distance.
But you don't think that I would know? I know that already.
Well,
and it's more like, cause a lot of the people that I do help, like some people would be like, you shouldn't help that person. I help that person because nobody else does.
And it's like, though, they know that though.
But I want you to help that person because that's just what
Because-
you want to
right.
do.
No, that is what I want to do.
Because
Not
that's
because
what
nobody
No,
else
yeah.
is doing
No,
it.
no,
Because
it
that's
is-
what you want to do.
No, I'm talking about from their for everybody else's perspective, how they're looking at it. It is because nobody else is. I also want to. I would want to even if somebody else was helping
And that's
them.
just who you are.
But
as a
and because
person.
especially because of nobody else, that makes me want to do it even more. Especially if it's somebody I fuck with, like you know what I'm saying. And I know that people make mistakes, and there's some people who I guess around their family and their people, they make one mistake, their family doesn't forget it. They have to live with that, and they don't never get to live that mistake down for the rest of their life. I don't want them to come around me and feel the same way around me that they feel around the same people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I will. You good with me around that, and I'm gonna help you get to where you need to be if nobody else will, because that's what I want done to me. If I was down and I ain't had nobody fucking with me, I couldn't. I would want somebody to help me.
And it's okay to have
You know what I'm
somebody
saying?
in your corner, but
Yeah.
still have boundaries.
That's
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
basically that's where it is it's like I'm not saying you don't have boundaries. I'm just saying though something has to give. You feel me? If you're coming to me like, hey girl, I'm running bad right now. Can you do this for me? Hey, and then it's become from borrowing to hey, can I hold this? And it be from that to be you're
But
sending
see,
me
I would say
requests.
this, right?
It's levels to it.
Everybody have a season when they down. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
true.
And some people's seasons may be a little longer than others. You know what I'm saying? And then you up again, and that's great. You know, so it's not necessarily when somebody's down you can't help them because they're going through something. People go through stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you be that friend for them when you can, and but you make sure you know your own limits and what you can and cannot do. Don't overextend yourself. If giving them $300 is gonna allow you not to pay your bill, then it's something you just.
But even
need
if
to
it
do.
doesn't
You know what
affect
I'm
you
saying?
though, but for me though, it's not even that it affect you. If I gave you $20 today, it's not gonna hurt me. But if you ask me for $20 every single day, you already caught on that I'm gonna give it to you. That's where my thing is. A lot of people have already figured you out. A lot of people know you're kind,
but those aren't your friends no
they're
more.
not. That is what I'm trying to
I'm
say.
talking about my
People,
brother.
we're here. We are all here naturally to use each other. You understand what I'm saying? So you can be useful, and you can, you know, and people can be genuine. And then if you can do it, you can do it. No matter how many times I helped you get up, sis. If that's the friend that I am to you, to help you get up or help you with your inner work or whatever, with your kids or whatever the case may be, I'm that friend. You know that you could count on me for that.
Yep.
But the thing, what you're trying to say is you can't pour from an empty glass. So you want to deal with people and make sure your circle is right, and you got people that's pouring in your cup and you pouring in people's cup.
Yep.
But also know who is for what. You know
And
what I'm saying?
when cup is dry and nothing
You
is
know,
coming from it.
Yeah, because you
when you
cannot
only
give
calling me-
appreciation, or you could take things for granted, and people do that. But at the same time, when you do give, and if you do something, make sure that it's coming from your heart, and that's what you really want to do. So later on, you don't feel like, well, damn, I can't use you for this, or I can use you for that.
Right.
Be a vessel. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Be that
It
person.
takes time
you know what I'm
to-
saying?
yeah.
And understanding what you're doing it for. You're not doing it for them. You're doing it for him. You're moving in a purpose.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's what your purpose was, to help them right then and there. You might not even see that person ever in your life. I might walk by a situation and it's something that I can help. I'm gonna help. I'm doing my diligence to the Lord.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
It's like a
and
purpose and
it's
calling.
integrity.
Yeah.
It's about doing things not just for the gratification or whatever somebody's gonna give you, or who gonna see you, or who gonna clap when you do it. Do it because that's just the genuine person that you are.
Regardless
You
of
understand?
anybody
Don't
see you
always
doing it or
accept-
not, right? You always doing what you're supposed to do, doing the right
Don't
thing.
always expect something because you
I
gave
never-
something.
Yeah.
But also, like you said, we have to have boundaries. And if you notice and you smart and you know, oh, she just using me, move around. Don't let it continue to happen. You understand what I'm saying? But you gotta draw the line.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, nobody will. We're individuals. We here by ourselves. But we got each other. That's what we have each other for. We have to use each other. And if I could be that person to help you, I could be that person. But I know when my well runs dry.
And you know,
Okay,
it's
it
just
takes a
like-
village. I don't care what point in your life you are at. It all, if you have kids, it takes a village to navigate
everything.
through life. Period.
So with
does.
kids, right? One of the other questions was, how do you feel about if your kid is like 10 years old, you kiss him on the mouth, your kid is 15 years old, you kiss him on the mouth. How do y'all feel about that?
Wow.
Yes, that's a no for me.
Why is we kissing kids
Hold
in the
on,
mouth?
we
Period.
gotta take
Hold
sir,
on, hold on.
whoever.
Period. I've never been kissed in the mouth by either of my parents. I don't
How
understand
would you know,
why
like,
people
you
kiss their children
one-year-old?
in the mouth. In the mouth
Culturally,
is
we
weird
just-
to
we
me. Like, I don't get
I
that.
definitely, I'm on the opposite side of the
Okay. So
spectrum.
how?
I kiss my baby in the mouth, but I don't always do it. You understand what I'm saying? I might give her a little peck or whatever, but I feel like after a certain age limit, it's just inappropriate. You understand what I'm saying?
What would you say is the limit? Like what? You know what I'm saying? Like what would you say?
I'm gonna say it. I'm like really like affectionate with my daughter, and I'm not just always. Just
Okay, so
kissing her
per se,
So
the
that's the
question
same
is boy
sex.
and girl.
That's the
So-
same sex. So that's
So
that might be a
that's what
little,
I'm, so hold on.
that's your daughter, so it might be a little different. If you had a little son, right? I feel like that would be highly weird for you to be kissing him in the mouth, period, anytime at all. Because that's something that you do with your husband, your boyfriend. You don't kiss your kid in the mouth. Now on the head, the cheek, and stuff like that, but your son, that's a little weird. And that's why some of these men have little issues that they have now with women as adults. They've been kissing their mamas in the mouth when they was little. That's weird.
But this goes
And
for
then the same
both
thing
sexes,
with
though.
dudes and girls. So a daddy should never be kissing his daughter in the mouth. That is
Absolutely.
weird. It's the same way. If it's weird for you to do it to your son, it's weird for a dad to do it to his daughter.
So the boy's okay to
So
kiss
no-
his boy?
no double standard.
No double standards. Period. No, a boy shouldn't be kissing a boy in the mouth either. But I'm just saying, if it's a girl, it's a mother and her daughter, so I mean, it might be a little different. But as for like, I don't know.
Y'all
I don't
remember
believe
how
in
Baby,
kissing.
Baby and Wayne had this relationship with, they had
Yeah,
these
and that was
where they used to
weird.
kiss each other in the
And that
mouth.
was
because
weird.
he looked
And
at
that's
him-
not even his
I
father.
don't know about that.
He looked at him as a father figure,
Baby,
right?
tell me,
So,
baby.
was it Birdman? Or
It's Birdman. He was Birdman back then.
Okay.
He baby now.
He's baby now. So Lil Wayne and him, they were on the same label and everything, and he looked at him as a father figure, and they would kiss each
Yeah, I think that was just a cover up.
So
I
they
think
were
that's just
grown
what
men
they want to
kissing
say.
on the mouth?
Oh, yeah, because I'm calling you daddy or whatever, and it's some gang shit that they do. But I think the initiation is on some gay shit. You know what I'm saying? I think the cover up is, oh, I look at him as a father figure.
Yeah. So
How old difference are they?
I don't know. Back then, Wayne was
maybe
probably.
12 years or so.
Well, at that time, Wayne was probably like 21, 20. He was still young, 21,
Oh,
22.
21? And he's
22.
grown.
He's
And then-
an adult. He's a
Yeah, he
grown
was a
man.
grown man. He's 21, 22, and then baby Birdman was like what, 30 something? Bird was like 30 something.
I just
So,
feel
yeah.
like it's gay.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
said
it was definitely gay. It was 100% gay.
Just call it
Some
what
other
it is.
That's
receipts
100%
came
gay.
out to match up with how I feel about that. So I just really feel like it's the cover up. You're just gonna say what
But
you
still,
want to
at the
say.
end of the day, right? When it comes to adults, right, and small children, it's our my daughter just started school, and since she started school, she's already had like 3 colds, and we in September now. Okay, she had 3 colds since then. So I don't want to be kissing her about nothing. I don't know what kind of germs she didn't get from these other kids. And I'm a married woman, so I have marital duties, and I don't need to be kissing my kids in the mouth.
Absolutely.
For me, and I feel like adults don't need to be doing that. There's
That's-
mono, there's COVID. It's just too much going
There's a
on.
That's what I'm
lot
saying.
going on.
An adult
Right.
mouth be in too many places to be touching the kid mouth.
That part.
And that's my own. That's
And
why
it's
I don't.
not
That's
so-
weird. That's just. you
That's
shouldn't
what I'm
do it.
saying. So I do agree with that, but it's like for me, it was the fact that it was a double standard. Because when me and you and I were talking about this, but it was a woman who did a video shoot with her son, and she was kissing on the mouth. She didn't get it. It was like, oh my gosh, she's so cute.
Yeah.
That's your baby.
No, that's not.
Hold on. But the man did it. Like, oh, this is sexual. Like it was
But it's
all the
always
opposite
been
spectrum.
like. But it's always
But
been
in
like
this
that, though.
predicament, they're both parents.
Yeah. No,
And not only that, they're both parents, but it was a big age difference between the 2 children.
That's true.
So the girl that was kissing her dad, she was like between 12 and 14. And the little boy was in like 6 to 9. I'm not
that's
really
a little-
sure
yeah,
what
that's
his
a little-
age difference was.
Mhm.
But it was kind of a big
Yeah.
age gap. You know what I'm saying? She's 14. She's going through puberty. She's developing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
wasn't he
Shit.
grabbing
So
her in
it
a
was
weird
grabbing
way?
her in a way.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
and that
odd.
was just too much for me.
See, that reminds. So I used to watch Lifetime as a mom was great. Lifetime Movie Network, all of that. So
That's
one of
my
the
shit,
movies,
though.
right? It was this dad. He was on trial because he exposed himself to his daughter, but his whole thing, she was younger. I think she was maybe like under 8. And the thing about it, he said that she wanted to see what a penis looked like, and so he felt like as his father, he showed.
All their music, but there's a song with the City Girls, and it was a couple of children. I can't tell how old they were, but like they were maybe between 9.
You sure you're
and
not
12.
talking about the FNF song?
That's what it is.
Yeah,
You're right.
too.
The
And it's the
FNF.
City Girls, baby.
Okay, you're right. You're right. My bad. Look, this shows
That's
how much.
Gorilla.
They was on a
Yes,
remix,
That's
though.
who it is. She was doing, but it was on the remix. I think City Girls.
City Girls on the remix. They on the
So it was
remix.
all of
Yeah,
them.
that's fair.
The thing, so that's what I remember. Then it was both, but they were on top of the car and they were dancing to the
Yeah,
song.
but they're
Let's
gonna hear
go.
what they sing. But if it's my child already know you're not gonna be outside singing that song.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's
So it's a
inappropriate.
parenting thing.
And then you're not. The kids gonna be kids when they being kids, but you got a grown ass adult recording this.
That's facts.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Cause kids gonna be kids in their time. Like when we was kids, like 9, 10 years old, yeah, I might cuss with my friend, but I would never let my mother hear me say it, another adult person hear me say it. You understand what I'm saying? So because the parent is allowing certain things and they don't have boundaries, that the kids gonna do what they gonna do.
So-
you can never blame the kids. It's up to the parents.
So what do you think about when the children's an adult, when they're older?
When the children what?
When the child is an adult, how do you feel like they should speak when they're older? What's going on, big dog?
When a child is an adult.
Yes. How do you feel like should they speak to you just as they're still a child or as an adult? So are they allowed to cuss or they?
It depends on the relationship. Like
Yeah,
we are
okay.
all humans. We are all individuals. Whatever you create, or how you want to deal with stuff and handle stuff, and how your relationship is gonna be, that's what y'all gonna do. Everybody don't gotta follow the same suit.
Yeah, but it's okay if you don't curse in front of your mom.
Yes,
Because some people do though. Some people like,
Oh, no. Yeah, no.
girl, I sit on. I'm 24 years old. I don't say no bad words in front of my mom. I don't talk a certain way. Now I talk how I talk.
Right.
But somehow all the curse
You're
words I
respectful.
think about,
Right.
it ain't even come in my brain
No.
when I'm around her. Not saying if that's the relationship you have, because it does have a different, like, you may have a different relationship than I do, than you do, but also if you're with your homegirl, right, and that mother talks a certain way, you feel like you're okay to speak a certain way because that's their lingo, and she's always, because you know what
Nope,
I'm saying?
I'm still not. For me.
I was
Nah,
like,
see,
my
I'm not-
friend,
Hold
So-
on. I'm gonna cut you off.
go ahead.
Let me cut you off because I had to say a point, right? So at my pop's house, right? How you talk? How you and my dad talk?
that's what I'm saying, but that's because that's the relationship we have, though.
But
And me and my mom aren't like that.
I'm talking about. But say any other guy you ever been with, and you been in their house and met their parents,
Yeah,
right?
I was like that. Because they've made, that's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, well, no, but get to like me. I've always, since I was at least in high school, been able to cuss in front of my dad, or cause like me and my dad would even have conversations, talk and cuss each other out. Cause like I was raised by my father, I wasn't raised by my mother. So me and my dad have sort of like maybe a different relationship. I respect him and I listen to him do everything, but sometimes we might argue, get into it, cuss each other, nigga, fuck you, nigga, what the fuck, that's just what we do. We be talking shit. Nigga, but that's my nigga though. Like that's my nigga. Like you don't give a fuck. We did I talked to him like he my homeboy, like all the time. And he talked to me like I'm his homeboy, and that's like how our relationship has always really been. But I see certain people, like some of my other homeboys, when they in front of their dads, it's like they scared. They don't wanna, yes sir, no this, no that. And it's like my pops ain't never made me feel like that.
Right.
So I feel like I don't want to make my son feel like that. I don't want my son to be afraid of me. I want my son to come and talk to me like I'm his homeboy,
Right, but
because I can help him better.
Right, that's to you.
But I can help him better in life and
But
teach
you
him how to
gotta also
when he,
understand everybody don't have the same lifestyle,
Yeah.
and then also respect is a big deal. So if these people over here, they're religious and they don't do that or don't allow that, then respect that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's just about having common respect for people in general.
Yeah.
And whatever your lifestyle is with them people, that's your lifestyle. And if that's how y'all communicate, that's how y'all communicate. You understand what I'm saying? But also, some people that's just raised to, I'm just always gonna be respectful, period. If it's an adult or an elder or whatever, that's just me. That's just me. But if you're just more of a free-going person and you just, you match your energy and stuff like that, then that's cool too.
Yeah.
But also what I wanted to say is, like, me and my mom, we kick it. You know what I'm saying? My mom have allowed me to use curse words in front of her when I was younger, like in certain spectrum.
Yeah.
I would never be able to talk at her, but I was able to express myself at the same time.
If I'm telling a story and I'm mad about it,
If I'm
I
telling
can
a story
use
and I'm
words.
heated or whatever is going on, I'm able to express myself. Or if somebody says something and I want to repeat something back to her verbatim, exactly how it was said, I'm going to let her know because she real like that.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, me and my mother kick it, But don't get it confused.
Exactly.
I always respect her as my mother. And even when we in heated moments where we're going back and forth, I still know how to respect her as my mother and not call her bitches and hoes or fuck you or use derogatory language towards her. I'm not gonna do that because I respect her as my mother. I'm not saying that's my girl, that's my homegirl, that's my nigga.
Yeah.
No, that's my mother first. And I'm gonna respect her as my mother first. You understand what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this: when you go play, because I had a girl, right? I had a couple of my homegirls. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know if me and my mom dynamic different, because me and my mom dynamic is different than me and my mom and my sisters. Okay, my sister don't even really speak to me, but I'm gonna say me and my mom. I'll tell her about everything in my life except for we never had conversation about sex. There's boundaries ever. I can never cuss at her, but if I told a story, I can.
Yeah.
But I have friends that talk to their mom like that. But even if my mom never sat down and be like, you can't curse, you can't speak like this, da da da.
Well,
I just knew that there was a way that I couldn't talk to her. But I have friends that are like, you're a bitch. Da, 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 and I'm watching my friend like,
well, see, but you gotta be specific in that situation. Were they talking to their parents when they was in trouble and they said that to their parents?
Well,
Because if my pops is mad at me and I'm in trouble, no matter how comfortable I am,
you can't speak to him.
I'm not speaking to him that way because there's a reason he's coming at me like this. So I need it. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm saying.
And they didn't have it.
Yeah,
But
like,
they had those boundaries. They didn't have those boundaries.
didn't.
So they cussing at their parents, talking crazy.
Talking crazy, and I'm over here like
That's
that.
different. Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna see you later, homegirl.
Nah.
Then come to find out that was their regular. But to some people, like, and that's why I'm going back to this 4-year-old kid who's saying nigga, is he's 4. First of all, he's not gonna know what's right or wrong. He's 4 years old. So if you're letting him say nigga at this age, you don't think he's gonna say it at 5 years old when
He
he's
gonna say it for the rest of his life,
People
like
have
I
been
said.
recording him like, what did you say again? He said nigga like 50 times on live.
And they think it's cute.
And they think it's cute. So it goes back to like, I do believe in boundaries. I do believe in there's a certain way you talk to people. But I know some of my friends, I talked to their mom about sex. Which boyfriend they had sex with last night. That has never been, now I don't know if that has to do with like, some people are more comfortable. Or some people are more of their homegirl to their mom.
It's always
It's a
always gonna be okay. So you can have one parent and have multiple children. Everyone's dynamics and relationship is gonna be different because every child is different. They're a different person. You know what I'm saying? So a parent has to match like the energy of that child and know how to that child feel comfortable, what they have to do. So like one of my children are introverts. You know what I mean? The other one is not. He's very out there. You know, exposed. So our relationships are different. So when I talk to one of them, I can talk to him about all his business in front of the whole family. He don't care. The other one, I know that it's okay. It's gonna be one of those times where I'm probably gonna sit on in his bed, we'll be in the room, or if we were alone, and we can have a conversation about what's going on in school with his friends. You know, it's different. So each child you're gonna have a different relationship with, and that's completely okay. But it's up for the parent to create those boundaries and their level of respect for that child to adhere to.
And you have to know them to know that their boundaries. So the last question, because I know we can talk forever, but the last question I have is, do you think wearing a wedding ring is mandatory when it comes? And I'll start with you.
Well, I'm not married, so I feel like it's a little limit to how I can speak on this topic.
Okay.
But
But if you were married though.
But
like,
if I
you
were,
care.
I feel like that would have to be understanding that me and my significant other came to. You know, we're wearing wedding rings. We wear our wedding ring all the time. You understand what I'm saying? If that's the understanding, if that's what we said we're gonna do, that's what we're gonna do. And if anything changes, I'm gonna feel some type of way. If something changes, and this is what we agreed to do.
So okay, so more so it's like, so you guys are married, right? And one day he just forgot it at home though. Is it like it has to be 365 days a year?
Yeah, I would have to really like. It won't have to. It's not even based on that. It would have to be based off the actions that took place leading up to him leaving it.
Okay.
So was he showing me signs of infidelity before I found the ring on the counter? Did I catch him a few months ago and he was cheating or whatever? Did we have a heated argument? You know, whatever the case may be, we don't know. But I want to know if that's the reason. You know what I'm saying? If that's the reason that you left your ring off, because now that's a problem. You know, because it's supposed to be for better or for worse, right? For thick and thin and all of that. So you don't take your ring off. You know what I'm saying? I think.
But if you haven't
that
just
if
dated
we
and
agreed to be wearing our rings, it's mandatory for you to wear your ring.
If that's the agreement.
Agreement you made. Okay, so then you tell me.
Okay, so I got married when I was 20, right? And so I would come from very traditional, like family household and all of that. So it was very important for me to have a ring when at that age, and I was in the military as well. And so growing up in that type of culture, you know, once people got married, everyone had a ring on because it identified, hey, this person is off the, you know, yeah, your name changed, but people still know everything about you. So it was just one of those things that, okay, now you know I'm married, don't talk to me, leave me alone. You know what I mean? That was it for me. As I grew up a little more and had a better understanding of the world and in my relationship as well, as far as like my trust, love, and respect for my spouse, then we eventually parted with our rings. Like every now and then, like I might wear it here and there, but now it's no longer a sense of like I have to have this on because I'm married.
You had a sense of self though. You know what I'm saying? You became comfortable with your own decisions and not the ways of the world.
Right.
So that's what I say. All of this stuff that we've been talking about today all boils down to you and what are you doing, your inner work and the boundaries that you're setting, and you know what I'm saying, and you being comfortable with your own self and living in your own truth.
Your own truth.
Yeah. And that does, and the communication matters. That's really like the whole, like to me, if you guys communicate this is okay, then that's okay. But if you guys communicate here and that's not okay, then it's not okay. I just think a lot of people are afraid to communicate that. People are sleeping with men and they're living a whole life with men, but they can't tell them what they dislike.
But it's
People
about respect.
But it's about respect. But the thing is, though, do you believe sometimes? So it's like even as a friend, right? If I'm a pushover to you, it's like I'm always like, well, do this, or I'm not gonna do this for you though. If I'm always coming at you with requirements that I have of you, but you never.
But we create our own lives. You know what I'm saying? That's up to us, and that's up to what we doing on a regular basis, and the things that we want to learn and deeply rooted with and stuff like that. You know.
But the thing also is like, in all of you, and I agree with everything you said, because I feel like a lot of people, they take a lot of, like, because they're not secure, because they don't have self-respect, because they don't think themselves as a high value of anything, they're more so to take stuff from, like, they just take things. They just take, like, you know what I'm saying? They're just there. They just exist. They don't have an opinion. They don't have, because they don't have any worth for themselves. So how would they know what they said is valued? How would they know how they feel is valued? Because every day they wake up and they feel absolutely no value with.
You gotta do inner work.
Yeah,
you gotta read. You gotta see who you really are and what is it out of life that you truly want. What is your purpose? Who are you? You understand what I'm saying? What am I gonna accept? What makes me feel good? What makes me vibrate high? Who do I vibrate high around? Who do I vibrate low around? You gotta actually be intentionally doing the inner work to know who you are and what you have going on. Nobody else can make standards and set boundaries in your world or give you morals.
But I feel like that's why a lot of relationships, right? They don't per se sometimes work out because they don't have any type of like, okay, self-worth.
Self-awareness.
Awareness. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh, he did this. Well, now I gotta figure out what I did wrong and what I could do more, or why I can do. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I say it goes back to the books too. Because if you don't know no better, if nobody ever taught you, it's up to us to do our own inner work. You gotta read. You gotta see what's going on. Look at something. If this makes sense to you, can you relate to that?
Have
you
know your own thought process on how things work. You know what I mean? So you have to step outside of ourselves sometimes, because especially if there's a lot of people who are very like green or naive. You know what I mean? And so when you're in relationships, you may not necessarily always question things, but it's important, like you said, do your own work so that you can have an understanding of how things work and what you want out of something. You know, not what someone tells you what you should have.
Yeah, because you can't really truly believe this is what it is if you haven't done your own research, if you don't even know better yourself. You just, if that's the case, you're just gonna go along with anything. Anybody can tell you